Hey guys, Ed Wilson here. Ed Wilson for President, Paradise Earth Initiative System. All right, guys, let's talk about 9/11 a little bit, okay? Um, 9/11 was a terrorist act done to our country, and we had a sitting Freemason skull and bones president. And basically, if you'd been paying attention, for over 20 years, they were fighting different groups, this, that, and the other, ISIS, protecting opium fields over in Afghanistan. Yeah, that's right, guys. They were protecting opium fields over in Afghanistan. And Russia came in 2 weeks and basically conquered ISIS. And so that means for 20 years, all of those armaments that were dropped, all that medicine that was dropped, all of the hoopla that we were hearing at home was engineered, guys, by the same deep state that pulled COVID over on you, okay? And is planning the next epidemic. Remember, this is an international gang. Our president was just up there and he was calling out some gangs. He was calling out one about MS-13, and he keeps talking about this deep state, but he won't tell you that the deep state is a Freemason deep state. Think about this, guys. They have weaponized your people around you to shoot you up. Now, these are people that should have the common sense to know that none of this is natural and it's going to hurt you. But notice, these people will sell you out in a heartbeat. They have weaponized the people against you. They used you veterans to do terrorism. And then you guys come home, and then any of us that want to speak out about this, you're getting upset with us. You know, what are you getting upset about? You were used like minions, okay? So now you're getting all upset because, did you serve? Did you serve? No, I didn't serve. We were calling this out right from the gate. Common sense was telling us, okay? None of it sat right with us. None of it. Okay? My question is why didn't any of it resonate with you? Okay? Because you'd been listening to your daddies who'd been misled once again. And why did they use, now see, I know a lot of these Masonics, okay? And a lot of you guys are actually pretty good guys. But you don't know what you're serving. You don't have a clue that you pay dues to a terrorist organization. That's right, guys. You pay dues to a terrorist organization that is global. It's an international terrorist organization. Yes, so in those other countries, okay, they will set up different factions that they can actually create wars with. They will infiltrate your communities. They will take your children, weaponize your own children against you. Okay? That's what DARPA does, guys. Okay? That's what those kind of groups do. That's what the CIA and FBI and all that is involved in. Okay? It's called espionage and different things of that nature. It's high treason, high crimes. Okay? And you guys are just acting like it's okay, you know, and you're going about your business, paying your taxes, funding the terrorism, just acting like it's okay because I don't have to go, you know. Meanwhile, I guess you missed that whole thing about the McNamara 100,000 that they did to the Vietnam veterans, okay? Most of these Vietnam veterans don't even know that that took place. They don't even know that that was an engineered war. England, shout out to you, England, over there, okay? Just trying to Brexit. Do you realize that the Freemasons infiltrated you and overtook you and overthrew your country without a shot fired? Yes, they usurped all of the power, and they're the ones that instigated the colonies' breakaway. They were seeking to make laws to make it legal to breed with slaves. Things of that nature. Yeah, there's some words for that, guys. And that's terrorism to me too, okay? And if you look at who actually owns those rights, it actually makes sense. Because once we get to the owner of those rights, we're going to get to the root of who actually created all of the evil and the slavery and who got all those riches and for some of those certain civilizations with those fake gods. You hear me there, G's? Okay? So now that we know what you guys have been up to, you know, well, somebody has to say something, because you're coming for the kids. We're not going to let you. We're going to do our best to stop you, okay? We know that a lot of you are just pedovore perverts, okay? That's what Hollywood basically is, guys. It's a programming syndicate. Epstein, P. Diddy's, all of those things, those were people that would compromise your government. That's why nobody's been arrested in the government yet. Nobody's probably going to get arrested, because you won't have a government left. There won't be a government left, guys. Yes, COVID, look at who has dual citizenship with all of that gain of function. Look at what Pfizer was doing. Look at the directed evolution. That was blown out of the water by Project Veritas. James O'Keefe, shout out to you. You're a champion, man. And I just want to let you guys know that you fell asleep at the wheel. And now you're pretty much conquered, okay? Yeah, that's right. The United States is conquered, guys. These guys right now have ran this place into the dirt. Notice there's no arrests happening. No one's actually trying to fix anything. I seem to be the only guy on here right now talking about a system to replace this system. It's called the Paradise Earth Initiative system. And it's not just for the United States. If we can get something like this going here, it will become a global initiative, because the rest of the world isn't going to want to go along with what's been going on to them. They've been being murdered too. Now let's get back to that Vietnam, and we'll get back to 9/11 and all that stuff as well, okay? In Vietnam, those people didn't even know that they were getting ready to be attacked. There was an entire different propaganda set up for them, okay? And who was behind that? That same international terrorist organization. That same terrorist organization couldn't have those people over there living off the land, not serving. And I'm noticing now with all of these tariffs, who's supplying a lot of the materials for building? It's Vietnam and other places like that, okay? So what they did was they infiltrated all of these countries. They weaponized the people against the people. You don't have any votes. You don't have any say, okay? Unless you get off your behinds and stop these people. The World Health Organization, apparently, is already planning the next pandemic, okay? Bill Gates has already talked about it. Notice that every single one of these people are also dual citizenship with another country. Our government is fully embedded with APAC, another country, okay? Every one of those guys are programmers programming your children. That's why they keep you in slavery, because while you're out working and they're setting up the counties around you that are reassessing your properties so that they can get better livings, better benefits, really what they're doing is keeping you occupied in this occupation so they can program your children even more. And our children are suffering. They're lonely. People around are strung out on drugs. Who brings in those drugs, guys? Who was behind all of that? Huh? Who was behind all of that? Who's the largest weapons dealers in the world? Let me ask you a question. When did you get your cut? No, I don't want to cut. But when did you get your cut? Was it your little stimulus package? Is it your little bit of tax break at the end of the year? Doge just exposed who's funding the terrorism internationally. Okay? I don't blame Elon Musk for leaving. I would leave too, because by now there should have been significant action took. But guess what? Trump doesn't have a Department of Justice because it's overthrown. So who's he going to use to go round these people up? Okay? So, where is everyone? Where is everyone? Hello? Is there anybody out there? Where are you guys? You vets. You were real badasses going over into these other countries with superior weaponry and things of that nature. But now that we know who's really behind all of this, who was actually terroristically trying to kill you. They were terroristically trying to kill you. It was arranged. It was premeditated. All of these things were premeditated. Okay? The mRNAs, all of that. Once again, they're saying that you're not human anymore because you took a patented vaccine that is altering your DNA. Are you guys still there? Are you guys what they call NPC? Are you guys zombies? Hello? You're going to look at your kids, oh, I love you. And then, oh, mommy's going to pack them off to school because mommy just wants a break. Because mommy's been strung out as well. Most of you guys are on antidepressants, alcohol. Let's get into alcohol a little bit, guys. Do you realize that a lot of alcohol is poisoned? Do you realize a lot of the food is actually poisoned? Do you realize that atrazine, when Alex Jones was talking about it, shout out to Alex Jones. He's actually a really good guy, guys. And the products that he sells, some of them are really good products. One of them is Survival Shield. No, I'm not getting anything from this, guys. We used it, it worked, and we cured a big C. Okay? A big C. All right? It's thyroid issues. Okay? And it works. Okay? So, here we are, guys. Where are you? Okay? I'm talking to everyone that I'm reaching right now, which is probably, it looks like one person. And thank you for being here, one person. I was going to say, I hope you hear me. You know, hey, you might be giggling and laughing at this goofy looking dude with the hat. You know what I mean? That's fine. You know, as long as you know, whatever. Let's get back to 9/11, guys. Okay. So, they've been setting these wars up. And I just segued over to England and was talking about that. So let me jump back out of 9/11 again and let me get over to what happened there. So that means if they instigated the breakaway from England and the colonies broke away seeking independence, but they were infiltrated, that means independence didn't happen. That's what it means. Okay? So 1776 is a crock of crap. All right? You had a terrorist organization that infiltrated you called the Deep State. And I'm going to shout out to you, Donald Trump, because you coined the term Deep State. But you also accused other terrorist organizations by not calling out other terrorist organizations by name. Why will you not call the Deep State the Freemason Deep State? Okay? Because you're surrounded by them. All right? That's who the government is, guys. Those are the compromised ones. That's your Illuminatis. Hey, Pakistan. Hey, India. Hey, China. Hey, all those guys over there. Okay? So, I've came up with a system to replace this system. We can propel off of this system. We need food infrastructure, guys. Once again, the food is poison. Let's get back to Alex Jones talking about that atrazine. So what does atrazine do? Atrazine, basically, like he said, turns the frogs gay. It turns the storks gay. And you all laughed at him. You laughed like a bunch of imbeciles. And he was telling you something. He was warning you about something. And guess what? Not only does it do that, it affects the mental and reproductive in us. Okay? So, all these trans issues you're seeing, all of these other issues you're seeing, is all engineered terrorism. And they weaponized your farmers against you. I see your tags out there. No farms, no food. Protect the farmers. Yeah, guys, you're protecting a bunch of no-tillers. Okay? A lot of these guys aren't real farmers, guys. They've been weaponized a long time ago. Yeah, go out there the next time you see that farmer spraying and say, hey, bud, let me get one of those pamphlets off that bottle you dumped in them tanks right there that you're spraying all over the land. And what you're going to find is it poisons shallow wells. And these are forever chemicals. And once they're in the ground, they're called forever chemicals for a reason. Because most of them are in there for over 30 or 40 years. Not only are they in there over 30 or 40 years, oh, guys, it gets much worse. Because they're over-applicating. And sometimes they're multi-applicating a year. And then, let's get back to you alcoholics out there. the guys that like to drink beer and all that stuff. So they have a process so that they can get more profits, and they can get more bounty out of their harvest. So what happens is that wheat, that barley, these grains, right when it's all nice and fully grown. Now keep in mind the ground's already been glyphosated. They go back through when it's almost ready to harvest, and then they spray it with more glyphosate so that the kernels won't fall off so easily, because if it dries naturally, they lose a lot more kernels because it's not as it's easier for them to fall off. Okay, so they're getting more bounty out of their crops. Meanwhile, you're getting more poison. How about those watermelons, guys? I was going to say, have you noticed those fields? Same thing. So you're getting yourself a big old ball of glyphosate. And that isn't even getting into the insecticides and different things of that nature. Okay? So as we're going down this rabbit hole, the other day, I mean, it's just funny how, and I believe in God, guys. I don't know if you do or not. Don't really care. I was going to say, well, actually, I do care. You should believe in God. So the other day, I'm on a job site. A company pulls up. The company was a pest control company. I'm sitting there. I'm doing some work in the home. I'm minding my own business. I see the guy walking around spraying some stuff on these people's walls because apparently they had some ants. I'm guessing the last treatments didn't work and these ants are coming back. So then, now keep in mind, guys, I want to, tell you a little more about that. I'm in a place, in a resort, where there's canals all around, inland bays, things of that nature. So this guy's spraying around inside the house, and he gets over to where I'm working, and he's like, excuse me, would you mind picking up your stuff? I have to hit these walls. And I look over at him because I'd already been listening to their conversation talking about mosquitoes and how, oh yeah, it's big business. We're going out here and we're setting these things up in people's yards, and we're spraying for mosquitoes and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's pretty terrorist, guys. That's pretty terrorist, okay? I'll get into that in a minute. But let me segue back into this guy spraying this stuff. So then he comes over there, and after hearing their conversation about all of that, I look at him and I said, yeah. I said, have you guys ever thought that those foggers that you're putting in these people's backyards are actually killing the bees, killing the butterflies, killing all of the microbiology in that area? And the trees are absorbing it so that when they put off blossoms, the bees go up there, the butterflies go up there, the other pollinators, and they get killed. Okay? So, let's get back to this guy again, because he's not quite done with his spraying. So, I hear the woman, yeah, I had a couple of ants that were over here the other day. Now, she could have simply went out and bought herself some jelly and some boric acid. She could have made herself a little concoction. Excuse me, I got to scratch my nose. She could have made herself a little bit of a concoction with some jelly, put that around her house, and within a week or two, all those ants would have been gone. And it would have just been the ants, okay? But no. Here comes Mr. Spray Happy. He goes out, and not only does he spray every square inch of their property, he goes into the driveway, drenches it with a torrential amount of this, and then he walks up the walkway, sprays all of that, sprays the steps. Now I have to go in and out, and I walk out, and all I can smell is this chemical. Now keep in mind, I'm about, less than 50 feet from a canal, okay? There's where your runoff's coming at, guys. This is what's killing everything. They've got your people all around you weaponized, because let me tell you what you guys are. You're called slaves, okay? Modern day slaves, all right? You're not free. Your flag is dead as a doornail, okay? There's more purpose to a doornail, all right? And when a guy like me, comes out here and we say something, the first thing everybody wants to do is, oh, he's full of crap. He's full of this. He's full of that. No, I'm not. We've been exposing this a long time. I just decided to come out here and put it on film, okay? Or whatever the hell you want to call this, okay? Because, I mean, once again, I got two guys in here now, maybe. And I'm trying to get out here, guys, because my Paradise Earth Initiative idea will solve all of these problems. So all you Freemasons out there that have been turned into terrorists, all you vets, where are you? Where are you? Okay? You're real bad. You're bad guys when it comes to going to another country with superior weaponry, millions of dollars of technology behind you. But now that we're talking about the largest gang terrorism on the earth, where are you? Okay? So, I'm sorry, guys. I kind of lost track because I got a little angry there. I was going to say, because this actually is very, it's very important to me. And my father, I come from a long line of veterans. My father was one of them that you tried to kill, USA. Okay? In your McNamara 100,000. All right? Which actually was over 300 to 350,000. That doesn't even get into the amount of Vietnamese that were slaved. And then any country that tries to stand up, you do realize that all of the weather phenomenon around you is terrorism as well. That's why in the springtime, you'll start noticing they will allow it to warm up, and you'll notice some of those trails that you see in the sky, call them what you want, contrails, chemtrails, terrorism in your sky. You'll notice they let it get nice and warm so that all the blossoms open up, guys, and then you get hit with a freeze. Because guess what? You can't harvest. And once again, where are you going? You're going back to the stores. You're getting some of that Bill Gates appeal. You're going out there and you're having to go to restaurants and things where, once again, where did all your meat and stuff go, guys? All of the products that we used to have abundantly, where did it go? The restaurants, corporations. Now, that makes me think of something else, and it's a little off topic, but it's still connected. How do you overthrow a country without firing a shot? Well, if you look that up, guys, there were some people back in the day that said that they would take this country out without firing a shot. So I want to tell you and educate you on how you take out a country without firing a shot. It's called a corporate takeover, okay? A hostile takeover, soft coup, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of different names for these things. So what they'll do is, because these are corporations, they'll overthrow your monetary systems, and then they will come in, they will take all of the symbols, they will overthrow you, and all you slaves will keep waving your flags and, burn that flag, I'll bust your butt. Oh, God, you guys are such a crock. Because you guys don't represent what it's supposed to represent or was supposed to represent if it had gotten independence. So, here we are, guys. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little clouded right now because like I said, this is an issue that hits me in the heart, okay? Because I'm watching what they've done here. They've caused ADD, ADHD. The indoctrination systems are steadily dumbing down our kids. They are once again reassessing our properties every year to 2 years. They're doing school referendums once again to keep their indoctrination system going with the frauds that are in there teaching the kids right now. When honestly, you could have a homeschool system, cut that fat right out, okay? Have technology in the homes under the Paradise Earth Initiative system. There's also a university system. You're going to get paid to get re-educated, guys. That means that you can go back to school. And also, you're going to get paid to create food infrastructure. Yes, some of the properties and things, you people in the cities, you're going to get out of there. You won't have to stay. You're going to have more opportunities. You're going to have opportunities like you've never seen before. We're going to have food abundance like you've never seen before. But right now, this is just a thought. It's a dream. And once again, the American dream is a pyramid scheme. And at the top of that pyramid scheme is a bunch of pedivores and Freemasons. Think about that for a minute, guys. What was Disney known for with its sovereign area there? What was that all about, guys? Club 33, you got to be one to be in that club. What else are they connected to, guys? Hollywood, One Eye Club, Red Shoe Club, Black Eyed Club. It goes on and on, okay? Then you start looking at all of the charities and all of the connections that are connected to these things. That's why I don't give money to charities and I don't go to your synagogues of Satan, okay? Because they were overthrown a long time ago. Yeah, I'm touching a little bit on everything, guys. I'm touching on your Bibles. Yes, your Bible was rigged too. Look it up. King James, what he was a part of, other books that he was a part of. And then you'll also find that they twisted things in there as well. So this is all a sophisticated terrorism that has been going on pretty much since the beginning of written history, okay? And they've been hiding all of this. Certain apps like TikTok, okay? TikTok, let me tell you right now, I don't know if you noticed, there were certain groups on there that were calling for murder of other races and things. They were claiming to be the chosen, and they were saying some pretty rough things, and they weren't getting banned. They weren't getting stopped. But anyone that spoke out against them, even if it was nice, and all of a sudden you're going against community standards. Before I knew it, I was banned because I was calling these guys out left and right. I was clarifying on all the history that they were lying about. And sometimes they were telling the truth, but they would only go so far with that truth, because if they had continued with that truth, they would have self-incriminated themselves. They would have basically told on themselves, and then you would have learned some secrets that you weren't supposed to know that would go against their agenda. Okay? Yeah, ancient slavery, guys, who really rooted that. Okay? So here we are, guys. And I know I'm just a normal guy, and I know that I've been attacked too. I know I have a touch of some of that ADHD, because sometimes I go out there and start 20 projects, and I'm all over the place. But keep in mind, I'm a slave too. I know I'm a slave, but I don't want to be a slave forever, guys. I don't, because you guys are BS, okay? And you're like, oh, what do you mean we're BS? You're BS, okay? You guys talk a big game, but in reality, when it comes down to it, you have no interest in doing right. And oh, that's another one. Let me go ahead and tell you this one too, okay? They lied to you about certain things. I'm going to tell you what Jesus is, guys. I'm going to tell you what Jesus actually is. It's you, okay? It's your body that you're walking around in. Jesus was a man, but he is also the representation of all mankind. And your body is a temple. You have a thing, a system in your body called an endocrine system. Some people call it a chakra system, and that is connected to the endocrine system. And by poisoning you, they basically calcify your pineal gland so that your third eye doesn't work right. And this kind of, in a way, impedes your learning abilities and makes it so that your common sense isn't as sharp. Yes, that's the truth, guys. There's a practice that you can do that helps with this called the sacred secretion. And look that up. I'm going to say it again for you. Sacred secretion. Any of you guys that are on here watching me right now, please share, do whatever you can. Look, I'm not making any money doing this, guys. And who knows? Once the right people see this, I might not be here very long. But you know what? I would rather stand up against the biggest, baddest bullies on the planet than not. Okay? So I don't know where you guys stand, and that's up to you guys. Okay? Well, whatever. I kind of hope you do stand with me, and I hope you help me with this Paradise Earth Initiative system. And you notice there's no links for any donations or anything like that. Down the road, there probably will be, because I actually need you all. I need different chapters in every state. I need different people helping to get this idea out, because it's over, guys. You're overthrown right now. And I don't want to be overthrown. I want to be known as the Seeking Independence President. That's what I want to be known as. Okay? The Paradise Earth Initiative Seek Independence President. That will make me the first president. That's right, guys, the first president. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. George Washington was the first president. Wrong. He wasn't. It was John Hanson, okay? And he was a Confederate. And he was a black dude. Okay? Yeah, that's right, guys. Maybe you should look at some of that stuff up. Okay? And you guys have been lied to about everything. Everything in this country pretty much has some kind of twisted lie in it. Our educational system is steeped in it. Doge proved so much with the DEI hires. All of that was terrorism, guys. What was Obama sending Iran? Billions of dollars, pallets of money, guys. Because let me share something else with you. Your funny money, your fiat currency. So these other countries have mints that can mint your money, so they'll come over here. That's how do you think China got all that property? How do you think these other countries, how do you think those other ones that are connected to the dual citizenship in our government get all of their properties? And they fund everything that they're funding and lobbying for. How do you think they do that, guys? Because, see, they have access to this. So while you're out toiling for scraps from the Freemason master's table, you're looking for your little crumbs every day, okay? Having to pay insurances and getting ripped off and murdered through that system. Now, that's another whole video, guys. Let's talk about the insurance system for a second, since I'm all over the place. Okay, insurance. So, when you go to a doctor, we called our doctor covering some test results up. I do that in one of my videos on my YouTube, okay? I also, and basically what they do is they run you through the pharmaceutical system, and as they're running you through it, they're not really killing you fast. They got to do it slow, because remember, every doctor visit is another payment. Every time you go in for a treatment, that's another payment. They're not allowed to tell you natural herbs that can cure you. This is truth, guys. This isn't just a fact, because I want to tell you something. There's a difference between your facts and truth. A fact can be socially accepted. Truth is a root cause to an effect, meaning that truth is superior to facts. Okay? So I don't know what you were taught in school, but I was taught to critically think. And that's what we're doing right now, guys. I'm just sharing a bit of that with you, because I actually love you. Because I know that if we don't fix this, in some of those writs, it says pretty specifically, you are going to return like dogs to your own vomit. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to return to my vomit or your vomit. I want to return to a paradise with a mother and a father that love me, that aren't pimped out, slaved out, minionized, drugged up, messed all up. I mean, look around, guys. All this programming, you notice each race has its own genre of music, its own genres of programming. You'll notice that I actually had a scientist tell me this one. He said, whenever we discover something, he said, what we'll do is, if it would get us blackballed or excommunicated, keep in mind what blackballed is. It's a Freemason term, guys, for, not getting a square deal. Okay. He said that what they would do is a lot of times they would hide some of that information in comic books, in stories, and certain Hollywood people have been trying to wake you up to some of this. Shout out to guys like Mel Gibson. Is he a good guy? I don't know. I was going to say he's been in there for a long time, guys. I'm sure he's seen some stuff. I was going to say, and I'm sure he hasn't said some things. Okay? So my phone is getting a little weaker here, guys, and I can't plug it in because I'm outside at the moment. I'm not going to be in here much longer, and I don't even know if you guys want to even hear what I'm saying. But listen, guys, we have a choice right now. Stop supporting this system. So yeah, I'm telling you, if you're funding it, you are guilty. That's it. You're guilty. Okay? Stop feeding into these charities. If you want to help people, expose things. Think about it, guys. The big C, if we can cure it, and I've also cured my own, guys. I'm going to share something with you. I don't know if this is bad or not, but I had the precursors to colon cancer. Okay? 3 weeks. Gone. 3 weeks. Okay? Yeah, I love things like alkaline water. Alkaline water is really great, guys. Iodine's really good too. There's a lot of other things out there that are really good for you guys that you should learn about. Like people with COPD should learn about Moline. Moline's a good one to learn about. There's a lot of different ways to administer Moline too. You can have a tea. You can actually puff it. You can take it in capsules, things like that. There's also some other things, guys, like the purple coneflower, echinacea. And as far as that pH goes on that alkaline water, between 7 and 12 pH is pretty good. I would go 7 to 10, something like that. I love it. And there's certain products that I really like to drink, which I don't want to really put on here right yet because they'll have a tendency to take those away, because I was telling people about certain waters that they could go purchase at the store, and I noticed they started taking them off the shelves. So if you want to know some more information on that, feel free to DM me, guys. I'm hoping you guys can help me get my idea out. And yes, I am literally going to try and run for president, guys. I'm just a poor guy. So I'm going to be funding it myself because I want this system in place. Because there's facets to this system I haven't mentioned. We can stop all of the terrorism globally, and we can actually free these other countries as well. What they've done to Haiti, what they've done to Nigeria, what they've done to all of these countries. Okay, they've been suppressing them all. You got China, all of these guys. Listen, look, I see you. I know what's going on. Trump, please If you hear, if you can see this, if you ever do see this, please, the Paradise Earth Initiative is a system that you need to fix things. And some of us are willing to dedicate the rest of our lives to this. Not only will we dedicate the rest of our lives to this, some of that deep state that you're having such a hard time with, we won't have such a hard time with. Okay? You just need to bring us up. Kind of like you did Elon with Doge. And once again, shout out to Elon Musk. Hey man, you're a hero. Thank you for going in there and showing the American people. I know, they feel like it was rubbed in their face. But most of these people can't see past the nose on their face. And they don't care to. As long as they are prospering, they don't care who's getting killed. They don't care who's being murdered. As long as they can take advantage of the system and they can get something out of it. All you people out there collecting your social securities and things, most of us will probably never see that. Okay? I'll be 75 before I could ever see anything like that. So I want a better system. This is crap to me. Okay? And listen, we're not going to leave you in the dark. The Paradise Earth Initiative system is going to basically prop everyone up while the implementation of this is being set up. Because everyone has a service that they can do in this. Once again, everyone will be a part of the military. The military will be retrained. It is going to be a building force. That's right, guys. So you're wondering, who's going to work in my home? Who's going to do my bathroom? Who's going to put the trim up and do some painting? Well, a lot of that, once again, guys, there's going to be systems in place. Your vehicles, notice you get these vehicles and they're so rigged up, and now you have to go through intellectual property rights. You farmers, I heard you complaining, guys. Oh man, my daggone tractor, my John Deere, I can't fix my John Deere because I can't get the blueprint because they want me to take it back to the dealership, and I bought the thing. You know, you didn't buy that, okay? A lot of you guys actually got federal money and whatnot. Oh, speaking of federal money, okay, down here in this resort area where I'm at, do you know how many hundreds of millions of dollars are spent on beach replenishment? Do you realize how many homes down this coastline are empty over half of the year with electricity running to them? And do you also realize that most of us can't even go to these resorts? Do you also realize that all of your counties are being flooded with out-of-state people? You're worried about people coming from other countries. You better worry about the perverts coming from other states. These guys are all part of these groups, guys. Yeah, that's right. Doctors, lawyers, all of them, all in cahoots. The fake courts that are all Freemason ran. Yes, guys, up in your counties, fake courts. You've got it. Most of your judges are Freemasons, guys. Yeah. Why don't you look into that bar association that's based out of England? Okay? Why don't you educate yourselves a little bit instead of picking on other people? All right? Because I've just about had it. Okay? I'm wanting to get free. I want to seek independence on your butts. You are a joke. And there is a system to replace this system. And we will look back at, look, Trump, I don't know what you mean now by make America great again. Okay? We don't want to go back to corporate slavery. We don't want that. We want our sovereignty. We want our country sovereign. And we want to set a good example for the world. That's what we want. We don't want a golf course. We don't want more runoff into our oceans. We don't want more poison in our foods. Okay? We don't need more restaurants. No, we don't need it. The people need to be educated. Once again, in that education system, your kids in a couple of generations will be smarter than any generation has ever been. First off, in that curriculum, you will learn about all the resources around you. You will learn about every plant, every herb, every use it has. And on top of that, while these children are nice and young and they're learning all of this, you parents are going to get the opportunity to learn this too. You're going to get paid to go back to school. You're also going to get paid, a lot of you guys that have front yards, you're going to get paid to grow trees. You're going to get paid to grow berry bushes. We will have an abundance that we will be able to export. We will have an abundance of healthy foods that will nurture us and also feed nature as well. You won't see the birds dying off. You won't see the hummingbirds dying off. You won't see all the bees dying off. A lot of you guys are going to have bees. And you're also going to have things like chickens and quail and ducks and geese and turkeys and rabbits and things of that nature, okay? I know a lot of you perverts are like, well, how about my kitties? Yeah, well, forget your kitty, all right? You know, I really don't care about it's something that doesn't really belong out here, okay? A lot of you guys get a lot of these, like, let's look at the Florida Everglades. What is that, guys? A bunch of morons went out, got a bunch of snakes, couldn't take care of them, started letting them loose out there. I mean, I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you what surrounds you. This is why you can't get anywhere. This is why, in your biblicals, it says, gather together and sustain each other until the first glimpses of light start to reappear. Well, here's some light, guys. Now I'm going to tell you something else about your worship centers. The synagogues of Satan, you're not supposed to worship. Yeah, I know you Freemasons are hating on this one. You're not supposed to worship. You're supposed to worship with an A. For those of you that can't spell, W-A-R-S-H-I-P. Not W-O-R-S-H-I-P. And, oh gosh, guys, this has been a mouthful. I was actually out here gardening, but then somebody ticked me off and kind of prompted me to do this. So let's talk about your VA, guys, okay? So I go in there with my father the other day, who's almost 80 years old. And they come in there and they're so used to business as usual. Keep in mind, guys, these guys are getting paid. They're getting big bucks, okay? They're getting big bucks to run you through the system, guys. And guess what? If you're a little older and you're costing the government a little bit of money, well, that government doesn't have much incentive to keep you around, now does it? So the next thing, because I called a doctor a long time ago with my wife, okay, trying to cover something up. And, oh, he's not there anymore. Yeah, he closed up his stuff and moved on. There's a new foreigner there now. But anyway, so doctor comes up there and says, hey, we're getting ready to do an endoscopy, I believe it is, that goes through it takes pictures of your throat. And he says, well, so that as they're explaining this to us, he goes, well, and what we'll do is while we're in there, if we see anything that looks funny or something like that, we'll probably take a biopsy of it and blah, blah, blah. I said, whoa, I got to stop you right there. No, you're not taking any biopsies. No. He just looked at me. And I said, we've had a bad experience with that. And plus, my dad's 78 years old, and I know what a biopsy is. And guess what? He doesn't heal as fast as he used to. And a lot of those C things and a lot of those weird things that they see in there, guys, I'm going to tell you what that is. They don't want you to know this one either, okay? It's parasites. And guess what? They're not allowed to tell you that either. They're just going to call it C, okay? All right, that's what they're going to call it. Parasites. So what would happen if you had a small infestation of something like that, and then you went and poked it and took a piece out? Is it sinking in yet? Is it sinking in yet? Sorry, guys. I didn't know if you heard me. That right there was kind of like, when you see somebody hysterical and you walk up to them and you give them a slap. Raising my voice was like a slap, okay? I hope you felt it. I was going to say, and I hope you're like, oh my goodness, I'm back to my senses again. My goodness, There's a lot of other cures out there, okay? I know a guy that told me firsthand about insider tradings, why some of these people are so rich around you, okay? Everything around you is rigged. So Trump isn't lying to you when he says it's rigged. I just don't like the way he holds certain terms and names back, because they're very relevant to all of this, because you're surrounded by terrorists. Go to the entrance of your town. Go to the entrance of your town and I'll show you a spell. You'll see some signs from like Lions Club, Kiwanis clubs. There's a ton of them. The ancient and accepted Freemasons, they got to tell you they're accepted? Do they? Do they really have to? So that you're so convinced, okay? With those windows, those buildings with no windows, okay? Yeah. Hey, old ladies, why don't you ask those guys about that fun house? Okay? So, now, I'm getting a little tired, guys, because believe it or not, it takes a lot out of me talking about this kind of stuff. But I want to get back to that runoff again. So after seeing what that guy was doing there, I realized pretty quick that you're surrounded by 70 to 90% of the people. And guess what? Those immigrants coming in here, have you noticed how they'll come in here, and as American people are getting sick of being slaved and being ripped off, that's what they were. They were a replacement force, guys. So what they do is this is how basically they overthrow nations over and over again and over and over again, and they keep it all hidden so that you don't know what's really going on. Anyway, sorry guys, my other broadcast just ended, and my battery ran out. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this one too. And this is a rant today from Ed Wilson, who wants to be president, and he wants to seek independence and redo basically almost everything. Okay. So when you're sitting there complaining about, they're going to take down the statue. Oh, that statue. Oh, that's another video, guys. I'll do that one in a minute. And, oh, yeah, let's talk about those statues, guys. Because wait until I tell you something that you don't know about your wars. Okay? Bye-bye, guys. Have a good day.